Hey, it's D. It's a brand new episode coming right for you, right on the FTO network. Enjoy. Hey everyone, D here with a brand new episode. This is not the standard Blurred News episode or the standard FTO podcast episode where we talk about news and comics and things to check out. It's a little bit different. I just wanted to have a chat, to talk with you guys, do more of a weekly roundup like I do on my Twitter page, where I talk about like the things that happen throughout the week, new things that are happening right now. It's just a lot is happening in these past couple of days, and I've been going a little bit nuts with posting it on my platforms, and I just wanted to have a chance to talk with you guys and just put it out there and just have a conversation, pretty much. So, like, first and foremost, DCEU, or Warner Brothers Discovery, has found its president of DC Studios, and that is James Gunn. Now, to those of you who are out there who are surprised by this, you are not alone at all, but this is different. So James Gunn is the quote-unquote Kevin Feige of DC Studios. And also DC Studios is like now getting more fully established. Like DC Studios is going to have its own, in fact, studio. So it's going to be like a complete rivalry of Marvel Studios. And this is a touchy, controversial conversation to have, even with oneself. Now, we've seen things like Ms. Marvel. We've seen WandaVision. We've seen She-Hulk. We've seen Captain Marvel. We know Ironheart is coming out. We know that Shuri is going to be the new Black Panther, allegedly. And you have a lot of MCU fans calling the MCU MSHU. Don't agree with that. Think it's a horrible thing to call like a company just because like they got inclusivity when it comes like the characters and like putting more women in front and giving them like the role of power. I think like it's a horrible thing like to call it that, but there are toxic fans who do call it that, and I can't help like to see like that happening at Marvel, and like they are losing some fans when it comes to that, and the toxicity you see with things like Titans, with Doom Patrol, with now Black Adam that's recently out, even with like other shows similar to Shazam. You see toxicity with that. I mean, it's not exclusive to like those two companies. You see it with House of the Dragon. You see it with Rings of Power. Like, it's everywhere. It's all over the place. It's not just like it's not confined just to one area. It's all over. But like exclusively what I'm talking about right now is Marvel and DC, and how there is a migration of fans leaving Marvel, and not just Marvel, other Disney properties like Disney Prime itself, which is like the Little Mermaid franchise, with the controversy about that as well. And also the Star Wars Disney, where people are saying like that's getting too exclusive, too diverse for them. Now, like, I know I'm talking about this from like the perspective of bigots. I get that. I get how that sounds. But I do think that Disney do value their dollars as much as they value those who are not bigots and just love the platform, just to love the platform. I do think a lot of those bigots are going to migrate and transfer themselves over or become more vocal at the DC studio, DCEU corner, with like the Snyder Bros getting upset with Henry Cavill, who is now rejoining the DCEU under the leadership of James Gunn. And I got to tell you, like, having Henry Cavill, apparently, like, spoiler alert, this is a big spoiler from Black Adam, Henry Cavill is in the sting, or the last ending of Black Adam. Like, he shows up in the film. I haven't seen it. This is what I was been told. This is what everyone's like telling about the film, that like it happens, that Henry Cavill shows up. He is now back in the Black Adam, he's back in the DCEU essentially, and there's gonna be a Man of Steel 2 coming out as well. So you have that. You have like the Snyder Bros like talking about boycott Henry Cavill, and even though like they're saying that, Cavill still has the Witcher franchise that he's not only striving in, but like he's owning it. Like it's his. Like he is the Witcher. He is Geralt. Like he has like that under his belt. Netflix is not going to lose Henry Cavill like as his character because like it's a fantasy that's edgy. It's a fantasy that has like open world. It's a fantasy that's already established and it's still going strong. And Cavill like is making money hand over fist while doing this, and now he's back with the DCEU, and he's still doing other projects on the side as well. And like for those of us who know about Henry Cavill, like and his like passion for the character of Superman, he's excited for this. Like this is something like he did not want to miss up on, and like much how Henry Cavill is excited for this, Dwayne Johnson is excited about Black Adam. This is his passion project. He's been working on this for about 10 to 12 years, much like how Ryan Reynolds tried to get Deadpool to where it is. And like I'm thinking about this myself, seeing this, and I can't help but think about like how cool it is. This is like a more of a positive turn than like the negative turn, talking about the bigots and like how like they may destroy all of this. I want to like switch up and go like, let me pause for a second. My whole thing about that is, about talking about the bigots is, brace yourselves because they will be coming out. You will see the bigots. They will be like showing themselves. You will be seeing stitches and blends. You'll be seeing like stitches and duets of people like giving counter arguments to bigots about DC stuff now. You're going to have to learn more superhero stuff in the DC universe. Like, it's like, if you're a comic book fan or a comic book movie fan, you're going to have like a crash course in learning about the DC universe because like they're not going anywhere. Like they got a whole studio they're making. Whether you like it or not, like they're going to be making money. This movie made like over almost $70 million its first weekend. Like it made over 140 worldwide. Like it's going to keep on making money. It's just going to happen. Like it's got Dwayne Johnson behind it. And like the fact that people now know that Henry Cavill is inside of it, like, it makes me want to go see it now. No joke. It makes me, like, even if the movie's not good, I get to see Henry Cavill back in the Superman costume. Are you serious? Like, I'm here for it. That's a sell. That's probably why we didn't see him at the Comic-Con, at San Diego Comic-Con, because, like, they didn't want to have Cavill, like, hype this movie up. They wanted The Rock to hype this movie. They want to see how good this can do with just The Rock by himself. But now we know that Henry Cavill's in it. It's a whole different thing now. But, like, the positive about this is you guys are going to get a crash course in DC. Like, for those of you who don't know about the characters, those of you who don't follow the DC movies, the DC franchise, all that's going to change for you. Like, it is. It just is. You're going to have, like, all your friends, even if they don't like DC comics, they don't like DC movies, they're going to watch it because it's superhero stuff. They know some of the characters. They want to learn more about it. They want to see, like, some of their favorite actors play these roles. Like, that's just how it's going to be. It just is. I hate to say it. Even if you're getting burnt out on this, I'm a DC guy. It's officially said, this episode here, like D of FD Nerd Dog is a DC guy. I got 4 Batman tattoos. Of course I'm a DC guy. I try to be unbiased. I respect Marvel. I don't too much like what Marvel's doing with their characters, but I respect like the hustle they have. I try to show that, even if I don't like what they do, throw some shade at them every once in a while, but they're doing their thing. Also, someone by the name of Peter Safran is now like the head of DC's TV. So this person is going to be running the DC television shows. He's worked on a lot of horror movies in the past. He's also been a producer of Aquaman and other different DC properties. So he is like familiar with the characters. He's familiar with the world, but he also has like a grit and edginess to him. And I feel like this is also the best option for Warner Bros. Discovery and DCEU is to have someone with edge, much like with Gunn and Safran, to take over something like this, because most of the Marvel fans right now, the MCU fans, are adults, and saying how, excuse me for saying this, but most of you who are fans of Marvel, most of you who are fans of the MCU, you say like it's not for kids. I get that. You say like this isn't for kids. Like you get upset when people say like, you follow the MCU, that's kid stuff. Like you say that. But if we're going to be honest and fair, let's be honest and fair. Like it is like geared towards families. Not to say kids themselves, but families. There may be some adult jokes, there may be some innuendos, but like it's for families. It's on Disney. Like, let's be real with each other. Like, it's on Disney. Like, it's not made just for kids. It's not just made for adults or teenagers. It's made for family. Everyone can enjoy it. I think DC's not going that route. DC's going to give, like, certain different avenues for certain different peoples. And, like, that's going to be that. Look at Stargirl. Stargirl is, like, it's for teenagers. Like, for 7 and up. Like, you watch it with your family. You watch it with your parents. Like, you can still watch it. It's a little dark. But it's not so dark you can't watch it by yourself if you're, like, you're a tween. Or a 13 to 14-year-old. Like, you can still watch that. Because my kid watches the show. And, like, I watched it with her. Like, it's not bad. It's not a bad show. It's a decent show. I think that's the approach they're going for. I think that's why Stargirl was never on the CW. It's because, like, they know what they're doing, like, when it comes, like, to these test shows and, like, the boundaries they can push on it and put it out there for everyone to consume. We know Black Adam is an anti-hero. He's not a hero. He's not technically a villain. He's a person, like, who sees the blight of the world and want to put some order to it. He's essentially like how most of you would see Thanos, but he has the power, like, to get it done. He doesn't need these stones to go looking forward and get a gauntlet to use the power that he wants to wield. He has that power, and he's not afraid to do anything with it. Like, the only thing that stops him is, like, Billy Batson and Clark Kent, like a Superman. Like, those are the ones who stop him, and the Justice League, who thwart him, use, like, the wizard Shazam to put him back, like, you know, either deep in space or strip his power until he comes back. Like, that's how it goes. And, like, I do think we're going to see more anti-hero stories. I think that's where Zack Snyder messed up when he created, like, the Snyderverse, is he wanted to make heroes, anti-heroes, like beloved 80, 70-year-old characters into anti-heroes. That was a bad idea. That was a horrible idea. It just was. It wasn't very bright. It was, I wouldn't say it was poorly executed, because, like, Man of Steel was great. Batman Superman wasn't the strongest movie. But Justice League, like, his version of Justice League that was 4 hours long, it's kind of hard to mess up a 4 hour long movie. Like, period. It's hard to, like not to get your point across when you got 4 episodes long of material to get it right. You know what I mean? Like, it was a 4 hour miniseries. Like, that's what it was. And, like, it was good. It was long as hell, but it was good. So it's hard, like, not to mess that up. But I think a lot of stuff is going to be happening down the pike. We got Man of Steel 2 coming out. They talk about how you're supposed to see introduction of more characters. We may see Steel inside of this. You got the Flash film, which, good God, Ezra Miller, they got a lot going on with themselves, and, like, I don't know if I can be a part of what they have doing, or any other projects they have out there. Hopefully they're just gonna redo this film with Miller and just have that be that, because I can't really be taking that person is an odd individual, and I can't be involved with whatever they got going on, you know. So I may have to sit that movie out. You know what I mean? I know they had a lot on the line for that, but they need to shelf that bad boy. Do what they did with Batgirl, because I can't be taking part in that. Even Issa Rae said something about that film, and, like, in what they're doing with Miller, and how Miller is still working with Warner Bros. Discovery. Like, you can't. Like, no, you can't have them with this. You just can't. So it's a lot with that. But you do have the Supergirl in that movie, in the Flash movie. So there is that. And you already introduced the Justice Society and Black Adam. There's that too. I thought I had more to talk about when it comes to this, but I do see a lot of people talking about this. There was one other topics I wanted to bring up, which is a lot of folks are giving me some pushback on this, as I said it online. But there is 2 trailers that the MCU dropped, which is the Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special, and Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumanium. Quantumanium, like, of course we know, has Jonathan Majors as Kang inside of it, which looks glorious. Like, the trailer itself looks, the trailer looks, meh. It looks alright. It's nothing like to write home to. Seeing Jonathan Majors looks awesome. Like, wow. It's cool seeing, like, you know, like Johnson, like in that full glory that is King the Conqueror. And like all fans are already like speculating like what it's supposed to be, like about the 10 Rings and Miss Marvel, like how that's gonna like line up with this whole thing. I also think like that's an annoying thing that MCU does. They need like to stop linking everything together because it doesn't really matter. Like it's not every film needs to be one big long event. But yeah, I guess it's what it is. But the point I'm trying to make is that I think Marvel's getting nervous. They see the progression that's happening. I'm literally making like a whole podcast about DC Studios, which is probably gonna be the name of this podcast. And like they got two trailers that dropped after the Black Adam release. Like after the Black Adam weekend, and like Henry Cavill releasing on Monday that he's gonna be doing like DCEU stuff again. Like they're getting nervous. You guys may not think so. You may think like I'm just like talking out of my ass when it comes to this, but like, dude, they are concerned. And not only did they drop both of those trailers, not only did they drop the Quantumanium and Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, after that happened, DC told us about the James Gunn and Peter Safran like positions. So like they're playing games right now. Like they're gonna keep on one-upping each other. So there is no set film, I believe, that's coming out from the MCU at the end of this year. I don't think so. I don't think any shows are coming out either. Like, not to my knowledge. I think there's some Star Wars stuff. Andor is still going on. But movie-wise, no. Like, are you still talking about Deadpool and Wolverine? I don't think you are. Unless like they release like a costume of what Wolverine's going to be wearing pretty soon. I don't think like anything can really top that. Like, unless they say we're going to introduce the X-Men, which every Marvel MCU critic is saying it's not going to happen. Like, there's a lot. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like this is like some news, man. This is interesting. I wish I could find my words a little bit better for this. Like I'm excited because this is like what I wanted 10 years ago was for like this kind of rivalry to happen. So I'm pumped that all this is happening, but I wish it would have happened 10 years ago, but having this happen is making me a little bit jittery. Won't deny that. I'm a little pumped. I'm very excited. This is really cool. It really is. This is a cool moment. So you got Henry Cavill coming back, which is awesome. If that Flash movie does still come out, you got Michael Keaton, and you have Ben Affleck inside of it as well. You have like a Supergirl inside of it. So you got that. You got the Shazam movie that's also coming out. Like you got that like with Judi Dench and Lucy Liu inside of it. So I mean, you got that also. You got some stuff being set up. And here's my other thing about all this. There's gonna be other films that are gonna be talked about pretty soon. Like the Blue Beetle movie is coming out. It has like the actor from Karate Kid inside of it. Like that's still coming. That's still going to be a thing. You got Keanu Reeves coming back for Constantine. That is a thing. You got Aquaman 2 coming out. Whether you like Amber Heard or not, like that movie is still coming. Like it's still going to be coming out. And like there are people who are excited for the Aquaman movie. So that's a lot of stuff down the pike when it comes to DC. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff from Marvel, but Marvel just delayed their films. Blade is paused. That's what a lot of fans were excited for, was Blade. Like, all those movies, the Secret Wars, the Dynasty, the Kang Dynasty, like, all these films and TV shows are paused right now. Like, or delayed, whichever word you want to use, like, they're delayed. So, they are definitely going to be playing with us when it comes to this. I do think that the last, like, reveal that the MCU had for everyone, like, that Marvel Studios put out there, like, these are all the things we're going to be having out this year. Here, welcome to Comic-Con. We're here talking about all the stuff we're bringing out to you guys. All these films. And everyone went nuts for it. And Warner Brothers Discovery, like, said, like, I don't like that. I don't like that. We're gonna get The Rock. He's going to hype this up. We're going to give him tons of money. And he's going to do his thing. And he did. And he put butts in seats. And people are talking about it. So, that's all I really got to say about this. This is crazy. This is nuts. For a comic book movie fan, this is nuts. Like, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan as some of you out there probably. Like I used to be, but you know, having one company do everything all the time gets a little dry after a while. And yeah, you may say like we still had like all the films I mentioned before, like Suicide Squad, the Batman movie, all those things. We had all that. I get it. I understand it. It's just sometimes like, so, this is a fun time for a comic book movie fan. It really is. I hope this translates to the comic books, that they put more money inside of it. We do know that Dark Crisis is still going on, so still something going on there as well. But yeah, I'm D. This is FTL Nerd Talk. This has been a very, very interesting conversation with you guys. I hope you had fun with this. If you have any questions, make sure you hit me up on anywhere, FTL Nerd Talk. I'm going to be posting more about this. So hit me up. Let me know what you think. DM me, leave some comments, all that stuff. Until next time, you guys take it easy. Hey guys, D here of FTL Nerd Talk. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTL Nerd Talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.